Welcome to another RSR. Tonight we are reviewing Nashville SC 0, Toronto FC 0, and MLS 2023 Match Day 7. Toronto FC gets a deserved draw. I think this is fair. I think a 0-0 draw is fair. Toronto needs a number 9. We need Insigne back. At least we're drawing these results out while he's gone. Unbeaten run is up to 6. We haven't lost since week 1. We played well, and I think Toronto should have won 1-0. I think it should have been 1-0, 1-1. I think both teams should have scored goals. It was very half and half throughout the game. I think the possession is definitely misleading. Both teams had some really good chances. At the half, it was 0-0, 50-50 through that. I think Nashville was a slightly better team at times, but I would say it was half and half. Nashville had some good chances. Toronto defended well on the first half. I would say offensively it was Nashville's half. They definitely had some moments where I was like, yeah, they could have scored. They haven't allowed a first half goal at all this season, Nashville. If they've allowed it, it's been the second half, which they didn't tonight. But Toronto played well. I think midfield-wise, you could have started Coelho. I think Coelho played well in the second half. Second half-wise, Alonso Coelho came on for the last 30 minutes playing a shutdown midfield pit bull role pretty much. And I thought he played well in it. If that's his role, I think he should start. But if you want to start him off, you did give him a trial by fire against San Jose. You gave him more minutes after last week where he only showed up for a cameo. But if he's on the team, I want him to start. I think he's better than K. I think it should be Servania, Coelho, and Oso once Insigne comes back. But for now, Coelho, Servania, Vasquez, even though Bradley would probably play anyway. But I think K should be on the bench. I think Michael Bradley should be on the bench. I think Coelho is ready. I think he's ready to be in that midfield. I think he's amazing. I think we legitimately found our midfield player, our midfield depth, our player that makes that midfield better. And we don't have to spend a lot of money on it. Good thing, because we need a striker. We need a DP number 9. We can't spend a DP spot on a midfielder, especially if they're defensive mid or an 8. I wouldn't do it. But good thing is we got Coelho. Alonso Coelho, for me, honestly, I don't know if he's man of the match, but he definitely showed out. He showed out. Federico tried to do a lot himself. Petretta played a good game. McNaughton played a good second half. Hedges played a good first half. Johnson made a good couple of saves. Honestly, Akinola did nothing. Kerr played okay. K actually had an okay game. Servania had a good half, good 60 minutes. I think Coelho was better, but I don't know why the sub was for him. But honestly, if we're talking about it, Richie played a good game, but if we're talking it through, I think man of the match is Alonso Coelho. I thought he played his role perfectly. Made sure the game was a clean sheet, made sure it was a tie at the very least. Made sure it was a draw at the very least. I thought Coelho played his game well. I thought Coelho had the best game out of everybody. Now that I talk it through. I thought he was up there. I thought he was one of the top 3 players. But now that I'm talking it through, I think he is the best player on the night. I think Coelho had the best half. He had a great 30 minutes of football. And that's all he needed to be man of the match. I'd say he should start. I think we're at the point where we know he brings quality. He hasn't put a foot wrong in 3 appearances. He was immense for TFC too. He's proven himself. Yes, throwing a youth player into the deep end may not be the best move, but this kid is 23, 22, 23. He's out of college, came out of college, FAU. I think he's ready. It's not like we're putting an 18-year-old, 17-year-old up there saying, hey, fend for yourself. Hell, it worked with Ralph Prizo, though. I think Coelho is just fine. I think he's ready, and I believe in that. I think he's that good of a midfielder, and it helps us have to get a DP striker because Diamande hurt. Io sucks. Kerr He's the best of the three, but that's not saying much. That's just saying, hey, he's the best striker of the three at this point. Peruzza has got no run for some reason. I don't get it. He has got no run. I think he should get some run. I think that would be smart, but they have not given him any. I'd like to give him a shot because at this point, kind of have to, don't you? But with that, you look at the team and I'm like, we got our midfielder. We got our best midfield if need be. That would be Oso, Cervania, and Coelho. Legit. You say, but they traded for Mark Anthony Kay. Well, we shouldn't have done it. That was a horrible trade. Sometimes you got to cut your losses. And sometimes you got to say, Michael, your legs are gone as well for Bradley Jr. You got to say his legs are gone. His legs are gone. Simple as. For me personally, TFC, they did a good enough job to draw. I think they should have won 1-0, but I think 0-0 is fair. I think another unbeaten game, that's just great. This would have been a loss last year. Last year, this would have been a loss. Simple as. I think where we are, stats. That's what I was forgetting. But again, last year, this would have been a loss. Stats are as follows: 8 shots to 10, 3 shots on goal to 3, 40% possession to 60% possession, 421 passes to 644 passes, 85% pass accuracy to 89, 14 fouls to 9, 1 offside to 0, 2 yellow cards to 2, 0 red cards to 0, 2 corners to 5, a 0-0 draw, of course. Again, it was half and half. I think TFC could have easily taken this game by the throat, by the scruff of the neck, and won. I think a 0-0 draw is fair. I think it could have been 1-0 either way, but I think a 0-0 draw is a fair result. I think both teams played well. It was half and half. Nashville defended well, but they had some offensive moments. Toronto had some offensive moments. They defended well. It was a midfield battle, and I don't think either team really won. I think both teams had their moments. I think the second half was Toronto's offensively. The first half was more offensive for Nashville. And they didn't get anything in the first half, and they sat back and said, hey, we can hold clean sheets. This is Willis's fifth. Sean Johnson's third. So both goalkeepers have been great this year. But with that being said, they tried to get ahead early. They didn't get it. They still had some moments in the second half, but it was really Toronto offensively in the second half. That was their half offensively. Bernardeschi could have easily brute forced us one. I wish he did. He did not. With that, what I saw was a tough performance from TFC. They weren't able to play to their ideals, but they still had a good performance. It was a little bit reactive, to say the least, but again, I thought they played well. I thought they deserve a draw at the very least. They got it. They didn't Tobias time. It's a little bit of a letdown after that 2-2 draw from 2-0 to 2-2 against Charlotte, but away in Nashville, that's a hard place to play. I think they got a draw that they deserve to get. I think in the end, I'm happy with it. I think we all should be happy with a 0-0 draw and a 6 straight unbeaten game. 5 draws, 1 win, 1 loss. Is it the best record? No, but let's remember that the 2017 MLS Cup team started pretty slow like this. 1 loss, 1 win, 4 draws. I don't think they got to that 5th draw, but I think that was But you know what I mean. They started pretty slowly too. They didn't start off dominating and end off dominating. They started slow. This team, I wouldn't say this year looks better, honestly, because they've been absolute crap for 2 years. And a lot of these draws would have been losses over the past 2 years. So honestly, it's improvement. And honestly, with the way the playoff system is this year, they'll make the playoffs. As long as they keep picking up points, they're going to make the playoffs. Even if it's the wild card. Do you want to finish higher? Yes. But we haven't finished in the playoffs for 2 straight years. Baby steps. if you could break out in the summer and have some great half season that makes you finish 4th or 3rd, kind of like 2019, and then go off of that, great. We took a big step. But making the playoffs has to happen. And at this point, they're playing well enough to do it. It may be 7th, 8th, or 9th, but they can make the playoffs. And they probably should. They're picking up the points. That's the good part. They're picking up points. I'd rather these be draws than losses, and they are turning matches that would have been losses the past 2 years into draws. That's a good thing. Is it a little bit anticlimactic? Yeah, it is. Is it a little bit mid? Yes, but you got to be mid from crap to mid to great. You got to be mid for a little bit just to get to great. You don't automatically go. Not many times you don't automatically go from crap to great. You have to grow. Back around 2017, 2014 and 15, those were growth years. 16, kind of half and half. 2017 was a great year. 18, Champions League was great. The rest sucked. But you get my point. You have to have growth. If you could do both in a year, that's great. Get to great, that's great. But you have to grow. And they are growing. They're going from crap to mid. That's a big step. It may not be what we want. It may not be what we expected. It may not be what they're selling. But at least they're not completely crap. At least they're sort of holding up their end of the bargain instead of not holding up their bargain. There's a difference. They used to not hold up their bargain over the past 2 years. They're holding up their bargain. Not exactly how you would expect it, but they're holding up the bargain. So, they'll keep growing. They're doing better. There are growing moments. They are getting better. They are doing better than what they used to. Things are getting better. It may not be the most fun. It may not be the quick turnaround you expected, but it's a part of the process. Do I wish they were winning every game? Yes. Could I see them winning every game if they played to what they were on paper? Yes. But sometimes that doesn't happen. And close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So, that's the way I see it. TFC is growing, and that's a good thing. You may be disappointed with this draw, but let's just look at it the big picture. Not tonight. Let's look at it as the big picture. They are growing. They are getting better. They are maturing. Things are getting better. Simple as. With that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put us in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I shall see you on Tuesday for the live watch along of Leon versus Violette and Philadelphia, Atlas versus Philadelphia. Yeah, I think. But 2 live streams on Tuesday. I know Leon and Violette's the start. I think Atlas and Philly's the second. If not, it's Vancouver, LAFC. But I think Tigres and Motagua and LAFC Vancouver on their own days. But again, 2 streams, 1 review on Tuesday. That's the next time I'll see ya. Have a happy Easter, everybody. Because I can't tell you tomorrow. Maybe a community post, but you know what I mean. Have a happy Easter, everybody. And I'll see you soon. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace.